This is my son David. He is 7 years old. He is really into Thomas again right now. Usually he loves his Angry Birds, his encyclopedias and books. David's a really happy little boy who likes to be busy and with his family, and David also has autism spectrum disorder.
Our daughter Matea is 7 years old and she goes to a really awesome school here in Red Deer. She's in grade 1. She is full of life, very energetic, loves to be active in her community, loves friends around, people around, loves to go and do activities, loves to be moving, always moving, and enjoys hanging out with her family. And she has autism spectrum disorder.
Connor is 7 years old and he is in grade 1, heading into grade 2 in September. He's full of energy, full of life. And he just keeps us very busy and very occupied. Connor is autism spectrum disorder.
Albie is a 5-year-old boy who is high energy, keeps us hopping. He has a great sense of humor.
Oh, he's fun and he's playful and he's busy and he's so active. And yeah, he has autism spectrum disorder.
I think the biggest thing is just if he's dysregulated, people see that as he's acting up, he's spoiled, he's not disciplined enough.
The biggest misconception for us is that David doesn't like touch or doesn't want to be held or always get upset. People think because he's a boy or because they've seen kids get upset by being touched that's how all kids with autism are.
He just needs stronger discipline and more routine and maybe better parents.
So one of the biggest misconceptions about her is that she is not intelligent. Lots of people put her in a box that, she really just doesn't, she's just really not that kid. She's very smart.
Whereas a lot of the time it is because he's dysregulated. Things are too much for him, he's overwhelmed, or he doesn't understand a social situation. And that's why he shows it by acting out, like physically, be it yelling or screaming or just not listening.
David needs to be touched constantly all day and craves that physical interaction with other people. I've had many conversations with the school about how much he needs them to just lean in and give him a hug, or else he can't calm down, he can't regulate, and he needs to feel loved and wanted, and he needs that just as much as everyone else.
You just have to get things out of her a different way, and she's working very hard to communicate with us and to communicate with her peers and our family and her grandparents and all those wonderful people that are in her life, but it just looks a little different.
Really, he couldn't be in a more regimented situation. We really take care of the activity level and the dietary challenges, and it is not a behavior problem. It is autism.
Even when we're just sitting at home, at a moment's notice, David could decide to leave. So we have bars on our windows, we have extra locks on our doors, we have an alarm system in place. Our garage door opener is moved above the frame of the door so that we can't open that. All of our gates are locked so he can't get in and out of the house.
Not worrying about Matea running out the door all the time. Worrying about making sure that every door is locked in the house all the time and making sure that there's nothing unsafe for her to get at. And we don't have time to talk because we're always doing other stuff. Making sure there's a meeting at the school that you have to go to, and a meeting at this other place, and meeting someone and having speech and having OT and having psych at the house, and yeah, there's no spare time. It doesn't exist.
Trevor and me being on the same page about Connor's autism. I think that's one of the biggest challenges because we both have our own ideas, and it's just really important that we sit down and make sure those ideas are the same rather than he goes one way, I go the other way, and we don't agree.
Like meeting our own needs as a couple, that's probably a huge issue or difficult thing in our house. So balancing our need to talk to each other about things that don't have to do with the kids, or balancing my need to tell him everything that's going on and his need to not know everything that's going on because he's not home all day.
I think it takes a toll on your marriage. You have to have a really good partner We have to be really good partners, which I'm blessed to have a really good partner.
Trying to get out the door on time to get anywhere is almost impossible because it depends on how he's feeling. And the more rushed we become, the harder it is for him to get out the door. And people, it's hard for us when people don't necessarily understand that. We're really lucky because our families understand and the school understands. But if it came to an employer isn't going to understand that you can't be at work on time ever because your son doesn't want to get out the door that day. So we now live as a one-wage family.
We made the decision for me to stay home because it is I don't know how parents who work at the same time do it, to manage manage school. We have a wonderful school, and I would probably say on average I'm there at least once a week talking to them about something, about Matea, reminding, this, or discussing why something's happening and helping them understand her more and meet her where she's at and support them in supporting her. We have a wonderful relationship. But I think we made the decision for me to stay home. And I'm just very thankful that we have families that support us in doing that.
One of the biggest challenges we face over this journey is that our friendships have changed.
And it's not necessarily because our friends have changed, but it's because our situation has changed. How we used to be friends and how we used to be able to socialize is a very different picture than it is now. We can't, other people don't necessarily have to live the same way we do now. So it's been a challenge. We've definitely, we've got each other. I like you.
I like you.
Okay.
Friends.
We have friends in there?
Do we have friends in Ripon? Yeah.
We don't. Not the same ones. None of the same ones.
No.
Because I haven't seen them I know who you're talking about, but I haven't seen them in 2 years.
And I think even our couple friends, it's changing, right? Because it's hard if you don't have a child with special needs. It's hard. It's really hard, and I think a lot of your friends, because it's different. It's different when you can just be like, "Hey, we're gonna meet at this campsite and go camping." That's awesome. We cannot be around fire without a one-on-one. One of us will have to be right there. We cannot. Is the campground fenced? Better yet, is the lot that we are in fenced? No, we can't go.
I think whenever you have more than one child, it's always hard to balance yourself and give everyone enough. But David needs a lot. He needs one of us all the time. And with 3 other kids, it's really hard to make sure that we're giving everyone enough.
With siblings, we really in our home, I feel we really work hard to recognize our boys and to encourage them and also to just to give them the time that they need, because we often say we have 4 children. Because we have Mackenzie, Matea, and Asher, and then we have autism. And autism takes up just a really long time, just takes up a lot of work. And it's really hard when, it's really hard to explain to a 3-year-old that I know that you are not allowed to do this, but your sister's brain is different and so she is.
Going to the movies, that was one thing that we didn't do for a long time, but now it's something we can do, which is great. I think just even going to school, just getting out of the truck, going to school and being at that door without me having to carry him or move him is a big win.
If we make it through a whole day at school and he was in the green zone where he was happy and cooperative, yeah, we had a green zone day.
We celebrate going to the swimming pool and not running away from one of us.
Yeah.
That's a good day. Not getting yelled at in the hot tub is a win.
Going out for dinner, just watching our kids interact together, all those little things, watching the way that they have their own special relationships, and they look a little bit different. And yes, my 3-year-old is leading my 7-year-old at the park, but they're holding hands and staying together, and that's a huge celebration.
I am like amazing mums and dads and teachers and, you know, speech language pathologists and superintendent of student services, amazing people that really I would not have had that much contact with. And they're awesome. They have been totally life-changing.
I have made friendships with people that would never be as significant as what they are because they're walking the same path as me. And friendships that will last forever because these people are gonna understand why we still need a babysitter when our kids are 16.
It's always been so very hard for me to ask for help. So when you meet other people who are experiencing the same kind of everyday difficulties that you experience, it's like you don't even have to ask for help because just their empathy and sincere appreciation for where you are at that moment is enough. It's like it fills up that cup and you're ready to go again.
I've learned a whole new level of love for my children, for myself, for my husband, through what we've been through. And I didn't know that you could love this hard, and I didn't know that you could want so much for other people.
I know way more than I thought I did. I learned there was a time when I thought I wasn't. I thought I wasn't the best mom for her. There was literally a time where I was like, oh man, like what are we gonna do? This is gonna be the worst. I am not equipped for this. And I learned like, yeah, I am. Like I am the best mom for her. Not every day, every minute of every day, but I am the best mom for her. But it took a long time to get there, for sure.
I've learned that I need other people and that that's okay. And that everyone thinks it's such a bad thing to say that you need other people. I have this amazing tribe of women and I need them and I can't get through this journey without them, and that's okay. And by saying that I need help and I need people, it's actually empowering to myself and other people, and I'm teaching my kids that it's okay to say that they need help. So that's what I've learned about myself.
We can do hard things. Like I watch Connor do hard things every day. Like get up, get ready for school, get in the mindset of going to school, stand in that line waiting to go in with the other kids when it's noisy and they're yelling, and he has to learn to keep himself calm.
I say that to David all the time. I've learned that we can do hard things, we do them every day. And we've done some really hard things that to some people are so simple, but to us have been so hard, like potty training. Potty training was really, really hard, but we did it. We learned how to do it.
We worked so hard to engage her in play and socialize, you know, even though there's all these things and all these challenges, we can do hard things. We can.